Number 28. Number 28 we have for today's sense of self session. Trust that your meanderings will ultimately serve you. I'm super curious about the various depictions of this card. I'm curious about how its receivers or readers, if you will, outside of me, the creator, will unravel its messages, its words, even this long word, meanderings, that I chose. Meanderings. What does it mean to meander? What does it mean to meander? What does it mean to trust that in the meandering, there's purposefulness? So something may be feeling, I'm hearing absenteeism. I'm saying the word absinthe. I can't say that I know what that means off the top of my head, but there's something about those words or something around that theme. But okay, I can't even remember where my brain was going, so I guess that was the message that needed to come out. Let's see what the booklet says about card 28. There we go, right to it. Easy peasy. This card presents itself to you today as an acknowledgement for the challenges and obstacles that present themselves while we strive for a successful outcome. Will you choose to endure and persevere, or will the challenges predict your demise? Pulling this card challenges your sixth sense to determine whether your vision and struggle are worth the desired outcome. Your fifth sense to feel the jolt of passion and excitement that ignites you as you manage the roller coaster of life. Your fourth sense to envelop yourself in the bittersweet taste of feeling as though you have missed an opportunity while accepting that it may not have been right for your trajectory. Third sense to recall the grounding scent of the earth, urging you to remain centered at the core of your goal. Second sense to hear the sound of brakes screeching as your roller coaster of life comes to a screeching halt, causing you to reevaluate your plan. First sense, to see the chaos from the eyes of another and ask yourself, is it all worth it? Is it all worth the trouble? This is a question that we often ask ourselves when times get hard. We begin to assess whether our efforts have gone to waste and whether we have what it takes to keep going. Feeling balanced mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally is all that we strive for in life. When we struggle to obtain that balance or recognition for our efforts, it can make us second guess what we've chosen to pour into. Life can be a bit of a roller coaster as we manage the plot twists and obstacles on the road to success. For each of us, success is defined in a variety of ways depending on our experiences, passions, and trajectories. Experiences, passions, and trajectories. This is also, I have to add my tidbit in here because that sentence reminded me of the first word on this card, which is trust. And I've mentioned before, I will say it like a broken record, we all have different capacities to trust, again, based upon our experiences, based upon what we have gone through, based upon what our brain wiring tells us is safe or is not safe, based upon what our nervous system reacts to or doesn't react to. Those things may not necessarily be true, but the feeling is, and so the capacity to trust remains. And within that capacity to trust, Now, we're also talking about how we define success. And if I don't trust that I can be successful to a certain point, let me put an example on this. Let's say we're talking about a successful familial relationship, right? I want to say a parental relationship. If someone has grown up having a relationship with either one of their parents, their mom or their dad, or their parental figure, whoever it is, anyway, if someone has grown up in a dynamic with that person where they were taught that they cannot trust, or there's just been a plethora of unpleasant experiences, then they cannot fathom or visualize a positive, reciprocal, successful, interdependent, all of the things, right? They cannot visualize that type of relationship with that person, and so they cannot trust the path to that type of relationship. There's something within the path of the roller coaster, right? And maybe that's what the roller coaster is. Maybe it's those ebbs and flows, or those unexpected twists and turns that we have to experience to change our capacity to trust, to change our capacity to define what is success. When I bought my first home at the age of 28, I was extremely proud of myself, happy to be financially stable, and feeling harmonious emotionally as everything in life seemed to be coming together. The process did not start that way, however, and there were plenty of times that I considered turning back. With financial confusion, first-time homebuyer classes, and more terrible house showings than potential purchases, it was a roller coaster of an experience. Again, the perception of an experience as a roller coaster is contingent upon what we view as success. When we want something that contributes to our idea of what success means to us, we tend to put more pressure on ourselves. It can feel like an external force is putting the pressure on us, but in reality, it's our own inner drive pushing us as we try to pull away. I may have felt blindsided and defeated various times throughout my journey, but when I arrived at the destination, the obstacles were beyond worth it. As always, I invite you to identify your own personal stories that connect to card 28, that connect to the words, the meaning, the visuals, right? The intuitive nudges that maybe you received throughout this session today. In the same way that I applied my story and was able to see that home buying process as a roller coaster, but something within me trusted that the meanderings were worth it. Birds are really doing a dance this morning. Session 22. Thanks for being here. Don't forget to like the video, share it with those who you feel like could benefit from the message or from the sessions in general. Sense of Self Oracle deck. as always, is available on my website, insightfulhealing.com. Session 22's journal prompt. Dun, 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 dun. What does it mean to waste time on a lifelong journey of meandering? What does that mean?